My cycle for Terry was written at the request of Louise Toppin, and the poetry is two poems of mine and two poems of my late brother, Terry Thompson, who was brilliant and passed away when he was barely 24 years old in 1988. He succumbed to AIDS. So I have known about these poems obviously for a long time. I didn't think of myself really as a composer until maybe 2018. I mean, I wrote a couple things before that, but 2018 was when I really started identifying as a composer. So to have the opportunity to set his poems and poems that were about him, written by me, and have them sung by a world-class artist like Louise and her world-class pianist is an amazing thing. I didn't realize that we had in common that we had brothers who had passed on. My brother was my only brother. We were three girls remaining. And so the poems, first of all, for Terry, I only recently have been able to feel like I understand his poetry better. It's full of so much imagery, and he was a literary major, and so he knew a lot of books and allusions, ALLU, sorry, allusions that I wasn't aware of. But now that I've gotten older, I make more sense of his poems. But the first poem is about the fact that I have often found his poems very confusing for Terry. The other two in the middle that were written by him, L'Angerie implies that he spent time in the south of France, I think mainly in his imagination, unless there's something I don't know. And I'm sure there are things I don't know about him. But we did go on a trip to Europe when I was about 17 and Terry was about 3 years older. And I guess it captured his imagination. So, the imagery is so rich and the colors, and I'll let his words speak for themselves. The other poem has one of the best lines that I've ever heard, and you'll hear Louise say it, sort of a diss track is what they call it if you're writing pop music. Sort of either a relationship that has ended or something like that. The last poem, The Visitor, is based on an actual dream that I had of being visited by him after he died. And, after watching someone waste away from AIDS, and, he had Kaposi's sarcoma, so he had lesions on his face, and he was so thin, dreaming that he came to me and gave me this message. Well, I guess I'll let the song speak for itself. But one thing I will mention is the inclusion of the Mendelssohn in the middle. That is because my brother was a gifted actor, and we all play the piano, and he played to a certain degree, but he kind of, that wasn't his primary focus. And so he could play really well the opening of Mendelssohn's introduction in Rondo Capriccioso, but then he would always sort of play that and then say, well, that's enough, and not play the rest because he couldn't really play the rest. So that's why I decided to include that bit of Mendelssohn in the last song. So I hope you enjoy them. Thank you.